Hey guys, so I've just moved to Astoria, Queens, and I wanted to talk to you today about something pretty interesting, which is the New York City subway system, because there was a study done recently, you might have heard about it already, about all of the different types of DNA that was found around the entire subway system. Lots and lots of bacteria, so hopefully you won't get too grossed out. Let's take a little walk. You probably already know there are millions of tiny organisms we come into contact with every day. Some of them are in our bodies, some of them are on our skin, some of them are on the surfaces we touch. And then there's been studies done in the past about air quality and different organisms that live around us. Nothing has ever been cataloged on the New York City subway system to the extent that this study has. The New York City metro system is the largest mass transit system in the world and goes over 252 miles. That's crazy. Because of the millions of people that ride the subway every day, the researchers wanted to use this information so that they could work on surveillance of diseases, maybe in the long term, or also look at bioterrorism threats, or just regular health management of an urban environment. But pause! Before we talk about all these microorganisms around us, let's talk about the ones inside of us. What we call the human microbiome is the genetic material of all the microbes that live on and inside the human body. Now, these microbes can help us with a lot of different things, including protecting us from infection, boosting immunity, and they play a big role in nutrition. In our own bodies, bacterial cells outnumber our own human cells in a 10-to-1 ratio. That's a lot of bacteria living in us. But remember, these guys are really, really small. These are prokaryotic cells, way different from our cells, which are eukaryotic. Now let's remember the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells really quickly. Prokaryotic cells are much, much smaller than eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells also have a specialized cell membrane. The prokaryotic cells have their DNA in a nucleoid, whereas we have it in a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells also don't have any of those cool membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria, but they all have ribosomes. So back to the subway. Researchers in the study took thousands of different swabs from different surfaces and different subway stations, then took them back to their laboratories to analyze for different types of DNA. Now, what did they find? Interestingly enough, only a small percentage of it was actually human DNA. They found hundreds of species of bacteria in the subway. Most of it was harmless. So almost half the DNA found in this study matches no known organism. Now that could be really weird and freaky, or it could just be because we haven't cataloged all of the organisms that we know quite yet. So the stop where I'm going, my Astoria Ditmars Boulevard stop, the last stop on the end in the queue line, they actually found 69 unique species of bacteria. So we're gonna go check it out. So of the swabs taken from this particular subway stop, scientists were able to identify bacteria like Enterococcus italicus, which is associated with Italian cheese, Aerococcus viridans, which can cause urinary tract infections, and Bacillus cereus, a gram-positive bacteria that can cause food poisoning. Now, if you're interested in what's been found at other subway stops, there's a really neat tool on the Wall Street Journal where you can go and click on the entire map of the subway system and find out what was found at each stop. There's a ton of wild things out there, but some of the weirdest that was found were traces of the plague and anthrax. Ugh. So you shouldn't get freaked out about the plague and anthrax being found in these subway stations. What's interesting is that there was about 700 cases of the plague in the past year, and none of them occurred in New York City. So what this means is that the plague that's found in the subway system is not enough to get us hurt or to make us sick. What's cool is a lot of the stations reflect what's been going on around them. Some of the human alleles recovered from different stations reflected the demographics of that region. For example, certain alleles that are associated with Chinese populations were found in neighborhoods with heavy Chinese populations. Very interesting. So here are takeaways from this weird video. Bacteria and other microbes are all around us. Most of them are harmless little prokaryotes, and some of them can actually do us good. Half the DNA in the New York City subway system is unidentifiable, and human allele frequencies at each stop can reflect the demographics of that neighborhood. So each stop on the entire subway system has its own unique microbial fingerprint. It's pretty cool. If you want to check out more of the journal article, you can go to the source linked in the video, and I'll see you guys next time.